What if I told you that everything you think you know about your credit score is probably wrong? Seriously, that number, that three-digit code that controls your financial life, it's not about how rich you are. It's about how well you play a very specific game. And today, I'm giving you the cheat codes. So, let's just get right into it and bust the biggest myths surrounding credit scores. The first one, and it's a huge one, is that you need to be rich to have a good score. This is absolutely 100% false. A credit score doesn't measure your wealth. It measures your reliability. It's a trust score. I'll explain exactly why a janitor who manages their credit well can have a significantly better score than a CEO who is careless with their bills. It's all about responsibility, not the size of your bank account. Okay, myth number 2. Closing old credit cards is good financial hygiene. I see this one all the time, and it makes me cringe because it can absolutely tank your score. You might think you're being tidy and responsible by closing an account you don't use, but you could actually be shooting yourself in the foot. One of the key factors in your score is the average age of your accounts. Closing your oldest card is like firing the most experienced player on your team. It shortens your credit history, which can make you look riskier to lenders. We'll dive deeper into why keeping that card open, even if it's just sitting in a sock drawer, is one of the smartest things you can do. And the third myth we need to put to bed for good. Carrying a small balance on your credit card from month to month is good for your score. No. This is a persistent and costly myth. The idea is that it shows you're using the card, but all it really does is cost you money and interest. Lenders want to see that you can use credit responsibly and pay it back. You do not need to carry a balance and pay interest to prove that. In fact, the best practice is to pay your statement balance in full every single month. You'll build a great score without giving the credit card companies a single extra dime in interest. Now that we've cleared the air, let's get into the real mechanics of your score. You've probably heard about the 5 factors that make it up, but you haven't heard about them like this. We're going behind the curtain. First up, the heavyweight champion. Payment history. D's max. Up 35% of your score. Now, everyone knows paying on time is important. But it's more nuanced than that. It's not just about being on time. It's about asterisk. How asterisk on time? A payment that's 1 day late won't be reported to the credit bureaus. But once you hit 30 days late, that's a negative mark that can stay on your report for 7 years. And a 60-day or 90-day late payment is even more damaging. Consistency is everything here. Even one late payment can drop your score by a significant number of points. So automating your payments is your best friend. Next, we have amounts owed, which is 30% of your score. This is where people talk about credit utilization, the percentage of your available credit that you're using. The common advice is to keep it below 30%, and that's a decent starting point. But the pros, the people with 800 plus scores, they aim for under 10%. And here's a little trick for you. Even if you use your card a lot and pay it off every month, your statement might close when your balance is high, making your utilization look high. To combat this, you can make a payment asterisk before asterisk your statement closing date. Pay down the balance a few days early, and the number reported to the bureaus will be much lower, giving your score a nice little boost. The third factor is length of credit history, at 15%. This is why we don't close old cards. This factor looks at the average age of all your accounts and the age of your oldest account. The longer your history, the better. It shows lenders you have a long, stable track record of managing credit. This is where patience is truly a virtue. That dusty old card you got in college, the one with no rewards, it's your most valuable player because of its age. Keep it open, use it once every 6 months for a small purchase to keep it active, and let it work its magic for your score. Factor number 4 is credit mix, making up 10% of your score. Lenders like to see that you can handle different types of credit responsibly. This is your credit cocktail. A healthy mix might include revolving credit, like credit cards, and installment loans, like a car loan, a mortgage, or a personal loan. You don't need to go out and get a loan just for the sake of it, but as your financial life evolves, having a diverse mix of credit types will naturally help you score. It shows you're a well-rounded borrower. Finally, we have new credit, the last 10%. This is the danger zone. Every time you apply for new credit, it results in a hard inquiry on your report, which can temporarily ding your score by a few points. Opening several new accounts in a short period can make you look desperate for credit, which is a red flag for lenders. So, Be strategic. Only apply for credit when you truly need it, and try to space out your applications. ILL give you a map to navigate this minefield so you can get the credit you need without wrecking your score. Alright, you've learned the fundamentals. Now, are you ready for the good stuff? Let's talk about some pro-level hacks that can take your score to the next level. First is a powerful technique called the AZIO method. That stands for all zero except one. This is a strategy to manipulate your credit utilization for a massive, short-term score boost. It's perfect if you're about to apply for a major loan, like a mortgage. Here is how it works. You pay off the balances on all of your credit cards completely to zero, except for one. On that one remaining card, you let a very small balance report, like 1 to 3% of the credit limit. This shows you're actively using credit, but your overall utilization is incredibly low. The result can be a jump of 20, 30, even 50 points in a single month. It's a powerful tool when used correctly. Next up is the goodwill saturation technique. This is for tackling those pesky late payments from your past. You know, the ones that are still haunting your credit report. Most people think once a late payment is on your report, it's there for 7 years, period. But that's not always true. With this technique, you write a polite, sincere goodwill letter to the original creditor explaining the circumstances of the late payment and asking if they would be willing to remove it as a gesture of goodwill. The saturation part means you send it to multiple departments and executives within the company. It doesn't work every time, but with persistence and a good story, you'd be amazed at what's possible. I've seen people get years-old late payments removed with this method. And finally, let's talk about piggybacking, but the right way. This is where you become an authorized user on someone else's credit card, someone with a long, perfect credit history. Their positive account history can then be added to your credit report, potentially boosting your score. But this is a double-edged sword. You must do this with someone you trust completely, like Apparent, because if they mismanage the account, their mistakes will show up on your report too. Done right, it can be a fantastic way to add years of positive history to your file, almost overnight. But choose your partner wisely. So, let's wrap this all up. We've busted the myths, we've broken down the 5 real factors, and we've gone over some seriously advanced strategies. Knowledge is power, but action is where the results are. So, here's a simple 30-day plan to get you started. First, pull your credit reports from all 3 bureaus. They're free. Second, check for any errors and dispute them. Third, use the trick we talked about to pay down your balances before your statement closing dates to lower your utilization. And fourth, if you have any late payments, draft your first goodwill letter. Just taking these few steps will put you on the fast track to a better credit score. No fluff, just results. Thank you so much for watching. If you got value out of this, hit that like button and subscribe for more financial secrets they don't want you to know. See you in the next video.